All right, well, Tom just brought in the butcher block countertop that we're gonna have in here, and it looks so cool. So we're excited. He's pretending to work right now. It's very convincing, isn't it?
I'm trying to work.
Yeah. So we're excited to show you that, talk about if we've added way too much weight, but also we'll talk about whether we decided to paint the lower cabinets dark, paint the shiplap, and answer the question, remind us why you're doing all of this extra work again. We'll talk about that coming up next. All right, good news. We have a lot more energy around finishing this camper today. So of course, last week the question came up. It was like, remind us why you're going through all this extra work again, especially when you're tired and feeling stressed out about getting it done in time to leave on vacation. You don't have to keep doing that.
Cause this is Dawn. Hi, have you met Dawn?
And Tom. We really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. It's fun for us, and
it's true. There's not a single thing that I can think that we ever just leave alone. Like, we don't just buy things and leave them alone, or make things and leave them alone. We're constantly changing something. And
most of the time, it's really fun for us. It's enjoyable. Of course, there's bumps in the roads along the way, like in our house, but usually it's fun. What we weren't counting on with the camper, because we got it in plenty of time to do the upgrades we wanted to do and leave on vacation. We were not planning on it being full of mold and water damage. And we also weren't planning on getting sick and each of us losing like a week of productivity.
And actually, I had just looked on my phone today, the day that we backed this into this shed, the day that we brought it home. We have not even owned this for a month yet.
Okay. So we're actually doing pretty good.
Yeah. Even being sick and everything, that's still pretty good.
It's just that we literally leave a week from today to go on vacation. So we want to show you what we've gotten done over the past week, what we still have to do. Also, thank you to everyone who voted on the last video. It was really fun to see what you thought about painting the lower cabinets dark, painting the shiplap, and then also about Tom's beard. So let's start with Tom's beard. A lot of people said like, well, hey, it's his face, whatever he wants to do with it. And obviously that's like our thought, or my thought too. I would prefer him scruffy and no beard, but you were missing the beard, right?
That's interesting that you say that, because when I had the beard, you're always like, oh, I like it. And I'm like, but you've never ever liked the beard before.
No, I liked it fine. Like I was fine with it, but my favorite is...
Like right now?
Like now or a little bit less.
Oh, a little bit less even.
Yeah, this is good though. But you liked it, you were kind of missing it. You shaved it like in an impulse, right?
I was sick for a long time and it just felt really dirty. I'm like, I need to just clean up.
Yeah. So, but once you shaved it, you missed it then.
Yeah.
So what's your thought? Keep growing it back now?
Maybe just for the winter. Yeah. I get too hot in the summertime. There's no way I could do it in the summer.
Right. All right, so one of the other questions we asked was whether or not we should paint the lower cabinets dark. You all said yes, and we did, and we are thrilled.
I love it. It's a great color. Like, yeah, it's a really great color.
The color itself, it's like a charcoal gray, but it has very warm undertones. We'll link the color down below.
It might look black in the video,
but in person it doesn't.
It's awesome, so you guys should come check out the camper.
Yeah. No, I totally get how in the video it looks pretty black, but in person it looks like a really deep grayish brownish color, and it looks really cool. So we painted the lower base cabinet of that, and then also this other cabinet that goes over the water heater.
And the front of the fridge.
In the front of the fridge, right. And then also in things that like totally don't matter, I decided to do this like mountain painting in the kids' bunk area. Adeline loves a good craft project. She's a girl after my own heart. So we're gonna paint some mountains in 3 different shades. We're using wall paint that we had in the house that is like the color in our living room, and we mixed it with a little bit of the cabinet color. So we're gonna do 3 different shades ending in the cabinet color. So in my head, this looks really cool, so we'll see how it turns out. I wanted to do something to make it feel fun and like a kid's room back there. So I was looking at some really fun mountain decals on Etsy, but I worry about sticking anything to the walls in here because of the extreme hot and cold difference that we go through in Minnesota. And so I was like, oh, well, why don't we just paint them? And Adeline had been asking to help too, which we let her help.
And she's super artsy, so like super fun for her.
So I was like, hey, I have the perfect project for you. And so we've been taping and painting and taping and painting and taping and painting. So Adeline is on to the second layer of mountains. In hindsight, we probably would have made our colors a little bit lighter to start out with, but I still think it's looking pretty cool. We're on the last layer now.
It looks really cool though. I'm glad that you did it because I think that it just adds like a little fun vibe for the kids' space.
It turned out pretty cool, and I am not like an expert mountain maker or anything. I think anyone could do it and you wouldn't have to worry about it turning out perfect. But I'm really happy with how that turned out.
I think that is the key to it, is just like, if it's not perfect, it's probably better than if it were like perfect.
Sure.
You know, it's just kind of like
I didn't have like a picture of the Rocky Mountains and I was trying to
No, it's
like,
just meant to be like a fun aesthetic for the kids.
Yeah, so that was really fun. And then we also asked you about the shiplap and whether or not we should leave it the natural color, or well, originally we were gonna paint it white, but then the vote said leave it natural, and we think that looks really cool.
I think it looks awesome.
But what's cool, and one of the last things we were hoping to get done today was getting the butcher block countertop in that we got. And so what I think looks really cool is that leaving the plank wall natural.
Right.
I think it actually looks really sweet with the butcher block countertops.
Right.
All right, Tom is ready to bring in the butcher block countertop for the first time.
It's a faux countertop. It doesn't weigh hardly anything.
Yeah, right. Awesome. So we decided to do it table height because, where's the stool we got? Oh, here it is. We got some really inexpensive lightweight stools from IKEA.
From IKEA.
And they are,
over there.
Yeah, and that can fit over that little thing Tom had to box out. So we made it table height, and then we just got 4 of these stools, and 4 should actually fit over there too.
Fit there really well.
Well, and we should mention too, we got the workbench grade butcher block because it's less expensive.
This butcher block was a third the cost of just like regular butcher block. I believe so they called it workbench material. It has sharp edges. It's totally unfinished.
And you can tell the joints they're not as like pretty as like if you bought it for countertop. It's still pretty,
but it was a third, it was a third the cost.
Like for a camper, like we're totally fine with those kinds of joints and everything. And we are gonna you could either oil it or poly.
We're gonna poly it.
We're going for the low maintenance, easy cleanup, because it is gonna be where the kids are gonna be sitting.
And then we'll work here when we're on the road.
Yep.
So now I need to I'm gonna notch it out around the window so that it fits tight up against the wall. And then I'm gonna cut a chunk out here so that these new cupboards that I made will open and close. And then the mattress, when the mattress goes down, it'll come tight in here.
Yep.
But so the butcher block will come all the way to the corner.
And then you're also gonna leave a notch out where we could
drop plugins.
Get down. There's an outlet there and an outlet down on the side of there. So he'll leave a spot so that if we want to drop cords down there to plug in.
Yeah, then when I'm done with that, then I'll sand all the edges, around all the edges and everything, get it cleaned up, and then I'll start polying it.
But I think this looks really cool.
I agree.
In my head it looked cool, but I wasn't sure how it was actually going to turn out. And I think this looks really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
And I think it's going to be really functional.
I agree.
Awesome. All right, we only have to lug it around a couple more times, right?
Yeah, a few more times.
Awesome. It looks really good. Thank you.
Yep. Right.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, like literally weight-wise, because I know there's going to be questions about if we're adding too much weight by adding in the butcher block countertop.
We're going to tell you no. You're going to say yes, we're going to say no.
Well, why do you think that though?
Well, I think that because we took a lot of stuff out of here that we didn't put back in.
Yeah, the whole dinette, seating, the table that was with that in it, and there was a big, like a good sized cabinet at the end.
Even like the floor to ceiling cabinet that was over there. Granted, it was built really poorly.
The frame itself was fairly light, but there were shelves in it that were solid. So
yeah, and actually the front of it was solid. Just the sides were hollow.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would say that grand total from everything we've done to the camper, without even weighing it, I would ballpark us at maybe 200 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so too. Yeah, we've been trying to be very aware of weight, and we don't want to like tank our gas mileage any more than we already are with this thing.
It's not going to be good the way
we don't want to hurt the camper. We don't want to blow tires on the road.
We don't want to hurt the truck. Yeah.
We just don't want to lug around any more extra weight than we have to. Yeah. We got our TV off of Facebook Marketplace. 27 inches.
Would you all like to see our plasma screen TV? That's $25.
Yeah, we got it for 25 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. So
this just goes to show how much we care about TV.
Yeah, that we only spent $25 on it.
On a very teeny tiny TV. I think my computer monitor is bigger than that.
Yeah, but we ordered a bracket off of Amazon for it, and it is a RV locking one. So
yeah, so we'll go.
Yeah, so we'll just put it up there.
We'll rip the base off and mount it up there, and then.
Yep, should stay in place.
Hopefully, we'll never use it.
And then if anything happens to it, we don't feel too bad because hey, we only spent 25 bucks. So we didn't even test it. The gal's like, it works.
Yeah, actually,
we're like,
we don't know that it works yet. I literally bought it Marketplace, drove it home, and tossed it right here.
The gal was like talking, and Tom's like, "Yep, good, thanks, bye." Like,
we got things to do.
Yeah. I know the question came up too of like, okay, so where are you adding in extra storage? So we did add quite a bit more storage with this front cabinet. I don't know what it's even called.
Yeah, I don't know.
From the outside, it kind of still looks the same as before, but the inside has...
Yeah, so this was just a hollow nothing from the factory, right? So this, there was a doorway out here for you to throw stuff in from the side. Well, I just condensed it so it's still, you can still access it from the outside, just only half the space. And then I brought the rest of the space in here for, I think Dawn and I are gonna probably throw our clothes in here.
Yep, so it actually did add, we could fit all of our clothes in here, no problem.
Well, I think we could probably fit all the clothes that we actually own.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty deep.
And even though we took out that floor-to-ceiling cabinet, we put the IKEA dresser in its place, which is also light. But in our experience, drawers actually are more efficient use of space. So even though it's like cubic square foot smaller, I think we're gonna have about the same amount of storage in there. So Tom really got some big projects done. We got the painting's probably like 90% done. There's just really touch-up work that needs to be done, so that feels really good. And so now basically what we have left before we actually leave in a week is to finish all of the flooring, put in the vinyl plank flooring. Tom got the hot water heater hooked up, and we did decide to go with a regular tank style water heater. We had talked about doing an on-demand, but what was the problem with that?
This camper can't do 240 volts. This is only a 30 amp camper. It's not a 50 amp. If it was a 50 amp camper, we could do a 240 volt, which then we could do on-demand tankless, but with this camper setup, the electrical that's in here, we could not do that.
Yep.
I have to take it down to the shop and tape up all the...
Okay, you haven't done the Flex Seal.
I haven't done the Flex Seal under the bottom yet.
For the waterproofing, so that we don't have this problem again. We've decided like the bathroom, we're just gonna leave that alone. The couch, we're putting the couch back in here. We had wanted to reupholster that. That's just gonna have to wait till we get back. I have the bedding done for the kids' beds.
Right. So, we still will reupholster it. We're just not right now. We don't have time.
There's just some stuff we'll just leave for when we get back for another time. So so hopefully in the next couple days we can get those projects wrapped up, and then we can start packing it and see what we're missing or what else we need. See how, actually my goal is to see how little we can get by with. So that is, that's my goal. So overall, I'd say we're feeling a lot more optimistic about the camper. Did we say too, another reason behind kind of doing this makeover too is to add some equity to it. So if we were to sell it, because we still don't know how long we would keep it. But you can't really add a lot of equity to campers, but...
No, the only thing we can really do is what we've done to make it more unique, because I would say every camper of this era, they all look the same. They're just a little different floor plan, but as far as like aesthetic wise, they all kind of look the same. They're all golden oak, very floral patterns on all the upholstery.
Wallpaper borders.
Yeah, wallpaper borders, so.
And I love how open the floor plan feels now with having the counter in place.
Yeah, I was on the fence about whether the counter was a good idea or not, but then as soon as I set that countertop down and took a step back, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that looks...
I think it looks good, and I think it's gonna be way more functional and get way more use than the dinette ever would have. You know, I have ideas in my head and they don't always turn out how I think they're gonna, and I hated the idea of like buying this heavy butcher block that Tom's had to carry and get it in here and then be like, oh, well, maybe we should just put the dinette back in, you know? So, and we did buy it at the building material outlet store too, so we tried to go as inexpensive as possible on that too.
But again, we don't know what we're talking about. So maybe we won't even be in here at all. We'll be outside all the time and we'll just sleep in here.
Hey,
who knows?
That would still be a win, I think.
No, I know, but we really don't know what we're talking about.
We have no idea. We'll keep you posted though. All right, well, we hope that you have a good weekend. We'd love to know what you're up to. We'd love to know if you think we've added way more weight than we think we have or not.
I'll weigh it. I'll weigh it and let you know. Also, if there are any essentials that we should be packing that we might not be thinking about. I have a friend who said bring an electric griddle because all the campsites we're gonna go are gonna have electric hookup and water. She's like, we use our electric griddle all the time because you can just bring it outside and cook on it. So I was like, oh, I never would have thought of that. So if you have any like tips or tricks like that for when you go camping, leave it down below because that'll be really helpful to us too. All right, well, we hope that you have a very good weekend. We love you, and we will, we'll be excited next weekend to show you how the flooring's going, so. Yep, and if we left or not. Yeah. All right, we'll visit with you again soon. Bye-bye.